The war to end all wars has just come to a conclusion. The Charleston is the dance craze that is sweeping the nation. This is the 1920s. The 20s gave rise to the great advancements in the techniques of mass production, also known as Fordism. Pioneered by Henry Ford, Fordism was a process by which every single ounce of concentration was placed upon the production of a single product. In Ford's case, an automobile by the name of the Model T. He had a single philosophy that aimed to achieve higher productivity by standardizing the output, using conveyor assembly lines, and breaking the work into small, de-skilled tasks. Prior to this, design was very slow in making its way into the automobile and electric or gas household appliance industries. In fact, Fordism was so successful that the Model T was sold for $360 in 1916, less than one half of what it cost in 1910. By the time 1919 rolled around, the price was dropped even more, sitting at only $265. Ford dominated in the automobile market during this time. However, because Fordism concentrated all of its attention into the reduction of cost and refining the routine of the workers, the Model T suppressed all elements of individual choice, artistic invention, and product differentiation. With more Americans becoming owners of their second cars, comfort, luxury, and styling became more prominent among the customers. General Motors realized this and began to distinguish their vehicles starting with colors, seen in the 1923 Chevrolet Superior. In 1927, General Motors hired Harley Earl, an industrial designer from California, to lead their art and color team. At first, Earls would only make small changes, adding new features that would not change the cost of making the vehicle, such as bumpers and wheel covers. However, with the competitive economic climate of the late 1920s, many manufacturers realized that Fordism was not going to guarantee profit. In 1937, General Motors renamed their art and color section to the styling division, acknowledging that frequent model changes were needed to generate growth. Thus, planned obsolescence was born. Planned obsolescence is a strategy that presented a new product annually or seasonally with a new form, color, or pattern that made the previous iteration of the product seem obsolete, encouraging consumers to buy the new, more modern version. Many products took up this new philosophy, like the Sears Cold Spot Refrigerator by Raymond Loewy. Loewy continually added new refinement each year to the Cold Spot, eliminating its flaws with iterations of the fridge, taking away the protruding elements, and continuing to accentuate its verticality through the introduction of ribs both above and below the large door. Even though the economy was reaching pre-depression state, the Cold Spot broke record sales each year. Industrial designers became the defining middle ground between advertising's concerns for visual appeal and the humanistic concerns of progress through improved performance as well as bringing art to everyday life. One famous example is the Standard Gas Equipment Corporation kitchen designed by Norman Bel Geddes. Geddes answered the call with a stove that utilizes rectangular panels of enamel-coated sheet metal as opposed to cast iron, in order to create a more simplified box-like form, therefore eliminating areas that would collect dust and unneeded decorative handles. This approach of improving the performance through mechanical or structural change was the ideal by which many consultant industrial designers aimed their energy at. To a point that is beyond just styling or cosmetic changes, this created a partnership between the designer and the engineer, combining art with objectivity, problem solving, and science. The approach to World War II gave rise to the aesthetic of streamlining. Streamlining derived from the success of the wind tunnel test, demonstrating that a more teardrop form object, which is more rounded in the front and tapered in the back, would reduce wind resistance, therefore enabling faster speeds as well as improved fuel consumption for land-based as well as air travel. Being threatened by the increasing competition of the automobile industry, and with commercial aviation adopting streamlining, the American railroad industry had no choice but to also adopt streamlining. The railroad industry employed a lighter construction of corrugated steel combined with diesel engines for fuel efficiency, with a bullet-shaped exterior, seen in the Airflow Imperial Crew of Union Pacific. Streamlining wasn't just limited to vehicles. Kem Weber's electric table clock also employed several characteristics of streamlining. From the swept-backed rectangular form of the clock, it is curved rather than the sharp 90-degree angle suggesting movement with a numerical readout opposed to a dial. No matter if the object is a vacuum, pencil sharpener, or a clock, streamlining communicated a sense of effortless movement without tension. It conveyed an idea of advancement in modern technology. With the world approaching social tension and economic challenges, streamlining is a way in which manufacturers and consumers can find an escape, fueled by imagination of the future. And that was Designs in the 30s.